execution prints money in your business, in your operations, in your team. I'm going to teach you how to implement this framework right now in your small service business, whether you're an owner, an operator, or a leader. Pay attention. It's not going to be long, and we're going to start right now. So the problem is that 59% of small service business owners, operators, and leaders that are doing like less than $5 million experience these problems. 59%. That's like 6 out of 10. Inconsistent team performance. 6 out of 10 people. 6 out of 10 businesses, leaders. Lack of clear processes. 6 out of 10 people. So most of you are having these problems. Poor training. 6 out of 10. Low accountability. 6 out of 10 people. So if you're watching this, you probably have one of these 4 problems. I'm going to teach you how to fix it through an execution framework right now. So let's talk about the framework. Without further ado, execution equals playbooks plus training times productivity. And we're going to break that down piece by piece as we go through this right here. So the key is relentless perfection of execution. Are we ever going to achieve perfection? No, but we're always trying, and we're continually getting better and better and better, practicing continuous improvement every single day in these 3 areas so that we can execute faster and we can execute better. All right, let's talk about playbooks. First thing, they need to be written down. They need to be accessible. They need to be put to the test. They need to be reviewed regularly, quarterly, 90 days, 30 days, whatever makes sense for your business, for your industry, for your team. They need to always be open. You need to have an always open policy. So if somebody is running one of these playbooks, whether it be an SOP, a checklist, a system, a process, doesn't matter. But if they're running that SOP, checklist, system, or process, it should be either printed out in front of them or it should be up on their computer screen. No ifs, ands, buts about it. It's an always open policy. Playbook is always, always open. You can have the cheat codes in front of you so that you don't screw up. And so that, more importantly, they don't screw up. And so that it's scalable. And so you can make sure that you get a repeatable, right, execution piece, whether it be customer satisfaction or whether it be execution of how to do the skill or how to lead or whatever it is. But the playbook should always be open. And they need to be accessible by everyone. I like using Google Drive and just sharing everyone to that Google Drive folder and then organizing that Google Drive folder. You got to have the playbooks. So start with creating like the top 5 playbooks, right, that you guys do the most often, that are the most important for you. I'm going to give you an action plan right at the end of this video. So stick around and wait for that. So that's what a playbook is. That's what needs to be developed, and that's how to implement them. Okay. Training. So you have playbooks plus training. What is training? Okay, so training is essentially teaching people soft and hard skills. You're going to have to train them on soft skills longer than hard skills, because soft skills like behavior and communication and leadership and self-awareness and emotional intelligence, those take longer. Here's my process to implement the training. Okay, so you pick the hard skill, you pick the soft skill. Research shows that 20-minute segments of one-on-one, face-to-face time, whether it be remote and Zoom, or whether it's face-to-face is best in person. But 20-minute segments about one thing, so one hard skill or one soft skill, is the best. And here's the process that you want to take. You want to develop this with clarity. So set the expectation. You want to teach it with the information. So be thinking like, videos or the document, or like they're reading, they're listening, they're watching. And then you want to train it with practice. And when you practice, they should watch you do it or listen to you do it or whatever it may be, right? And then you do it together. Like I do a part, you do a part, I do a part, you do a part. And then they do it while I'm watching. And then they do it with critique of me watching. And then they do it by themselves. And then they come to me and debrief. So that train with practice one can be a lot of little mini steps in there that I just gave it to you. Then you have to equip them with the tools, whether it be an IP tool, like an intellectual tool, or whether it be like a screwdriver or whatever. Like they need to know what the tools are. They need to know how to use them. They need to know why they're using them. So they need to make sure they have all the tools and they feel really, really good about all the different tools, because that will now, if you train with practice and lots and lots and lots and lots of repetition and practice, and you know the tools really, really well, you know how to use the tools and you know why they're used, now that you can empower them with the confidence. right? Which is just more repetition and more debriefs, and then approval by you, which is really, 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 really helpful as a leader. So you empower them with confidence, and then the way that you sustain it is with accountability, right? So you set accountability is expectations plus measurement times reinforcement. So you focus in on the reinforcement. You reinforce the good formally and informally, and then you correct and give feedback to the stuff that they do incorrectly or that they do bad so that you can correct it and make sure that it's better. So that's the training aspect of execution. The training aspect is missing. You need to have a regular training schedule for all hard skills and all soft skills for each role. You can do one-on-one, you can do small group, you can do large group, but it needs to be regular, at least monthly. I've seen this as fast as weekly. And like I said, it doesn't have to be hours on end, 20 minutes at a time for one specific thing. And it can gain you exponential value when it comes to executing the hard skills and executing the soft skills. All right, let's dig into the last part, which is productivity. So times productivity. All right, so you have execution. The last piece is productivity. Okay, so execution equals playbooks plus training times productivity. Why is productivity multiplied? Because productivity is all about efficiency and effectiveness. We need to do it fast and we need to do it good. So there's two aspects here. Okay, the fast part is the activity, right? Of what activity are we doing, and are we doing it quickly and productively? And then the effectiveness is how is our performance? Are we doing it correctly? All right, so that's the productivity piece. And we need to have some productivity KPIs like, time on task, how many jobs completed, the performance rate, callback rate, like all those types of things. So we have some productivity KPIs that we build in there, right? But if you haven't noticed, the playbooks and the training make you faster and make you better. That's why productivity is multiplied, because after we've laid out the playbook and we've done all the things with the playbook and we've trained all of the things in the playbook and all the hard skill and all the soft skills, now it's just about turning those knobs the right way, doing debriefs, holding them accountable, measuring, informal and formal reinforcement. That makes things go faster, and that makes them get even more effective as well, which is good. So they're performing better. So let's talk about how this prints money. So it's a force multiplier, because you have playbooks and training, your teams gain clarity and skills. You have productivity, which multiplies it all. So productivity is going to amplify the effectiveness of the playbooks, the effectiveness of the training, and that's going to create you exponential gains. So you're going to get more done in less time, and it's going to be of better quality. That's a win-win-win. That's how you print money when it comes to leadership, when it comes to teams, and when it comes to business. So when execution improves, once you've done those things of the force multiplier, meaning the playbooks, the training, and the productivity, jobs are completed faster. That means you have more capacity and more revenue. There's less errors, which means fewer costs. That's going to save you money on rework and on customer dissatisfaction. And you're going to have a higher team efficiency, which is going to reduce operational expenses and improve your overall profit margin. And guess what? You're also going to have happier customers, which means it's going to drive repeat business and word of mouth referrals. That's how you print money with execution and with your team. And guess what? One of the ways to do this, because you have to formally and informal reinforce them, is through meetings. Yes, you have to have meetings. Yes, you have to communicate with your people. Yes, you have to hold them accountable. So go get this guide right here, maynerleadership.com/4meetings. This is a 30-page PDF document. Gives you all of the scripts, all of the meetings. It's the 4 meetings that you need to grow a home service company. It's absolute dynamite. It's some of my best work, and I want to give it to you because I want your execution to be absolutely elite, so that you can get exactly where you need to be, so that you can live out your purpose, and so that your teams can win, and so your business can win, because I love small business, and it needs to stay strong. So go get this right here. It's got the scripts, the templates, the agendas, who you need to have with what. It's got all of the things in here for you to run your meetings, so that they're meetings that make you money, that help you be more productive and to execute better. So go grab that right now. So here's your action plan. How do we put all this together? How do we get to our teams and ourselves and our business and our operations to be more productive? So step 1 is build your playbooks. So just start with 3 to 5 processes or checklists or playbooks or SOPs in your business. Maybe it's onboarding, maybe it's service delivery, maybe it's job closeout. Here's a tip. Keep it simple, right? Focus on the step-by-step instructions. Make them as simple, clear, and concise. Throw them back into ChatGPT have them to clean it up, the formatting, and to put it into 5th grade reading level or less so it's easily digestible and consumable. Here's what's going to happen once you do that and you put them in an accessible place and you train the people on them, right? Is that you're going to have a clear guide of how to consistently execute at a quality level and at a quick level. Step 2 of your action plan is to train your team on those playbooks. Train your team on the soft skills. Train your team on the hard skills. Hold training sessions, 20 minutes, right? 1-to-1, small group, large group. You can mix up any of those, but make it regular so that you can review and you can practice the playbooks and you can go over them. Use real life scenarios. Do on-the-job training. Do on-site training as well to make sure that your people are understanding. And what's going to happen is that your team is going to start gaining more and more skills and more confidence so that they can execute efficiently and effectively, which is one of the best things in business, as we've just talked about, of how to print money. And the last thing is to measure productivity. So just come up with like 1 to 2, maybe 3 productivity metrics, like jobs completed per day, time spent per task. And what you can do is that you just use some simple tools like Google Sheets or Excel spreadsheets, or even a whiteboard, just to track the progress. You're always measuring basically efficiency, which is fast, and effectiveness, which is good. And what you're gonna see, you're gonna identify some gaps that will help you improve your team performance in the fast and in the good, the efficiency and the effectiveness, which is going to make that productivity better, and which is going to enhance execution and make you more money and help you print money. And hey, that's where it boils down to, is execution equals playbooks plus training times productivity. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to @Mayner. Like this, leave me a comment, ask me a question, hit the bell so you're notified every single time that we drop one of these videos. I make them fast. I make them to the point. I make them super tactical. And share this with a fellow owner, operator, or leader that's in the service business, that's in the trench with you. You're like, hey, they could probably be more productive and they need help with their training and they need help with their playbooks and their execution sucks. Hey, go check this out. He gives you the full kit and caboodle for free. So go ahead, share that with them now. And thank you so much, Playmakers. Keep getting after it. Go Detroit Lions and keep on winning. We'll talk to you soon.